So the input may be from uh, uh, a mechanical part, or an optical, or a magnetic signal, or a thermal signal. So it may be of any form sensed by the sensing devices, and this sensor will collect the signal in the form of voltage or a current. Okay, so as an output, and it will be sent to a platform for communication. So we call it as a wireless sensor nodes. So all these devices can connecting devices will form a network. Okay, so they are connected with wireless or with wired, but nowadays the focus is on wireless itself, so that more number of devices can be connected through some protocols. Okay, we have some protocols like I2C or SPI. So I2C is nothing but integrated circuit. Okay, so communication protocol where bit by bit transformation, serial transformation takes place. Similarly, SPI also a serial peripheral interface. Okay, so the two terms are there. Both are dealing with communication. Other, because they transfer the signal in the form of bits itself. Okay, so that is what I mentioned as serial communication. Okay, so then we have this machine to machine communication, and this machine to machine communication is possible through a gateway. Okay, because it is not feasible to connect each and every device directly with the internet. Okay, so you have to connect these devices through IoT gateways. Okay, so I'll give an example of what this gateways is all about. Okay, so for the time being, just remember that the devices are connected to the internet through some gateway, and we call it as an IoT gateway. Okay, and you can use an Arduino board or a Raspberry Pi board as a microcontroller, which also forms a form of part of IoT gateway. So, then it will be connected to the cloud. Okay, because these devices, the sensing devices, they sense and then send the data to the cloud through Wi-Fi. Okay, so the cloud computing we have already discussed the basics. Okay, so the various IoT cloud sites are there: Microsoft Azure, AWS IoT Core that I have shown, IBM Bluemix. Okay, the most commonly used. Then we have ThinkSpeaks from MathWorks. Okay, so AWS IoT Core we generally prefer. Okay, then we prefer ThinkSpeaks from MathWorks. Okay, all those are nothing but IoT cloud sites. Okay, then we have your applications running on your mobile phone or laptop or whatever it is. Okay, so users in domain like health, oil, gas, retail, transport, home. So all these I've shown is shown in the video also. Okay, so there's the entire broad picture as far as the IoT is concerned. How the devices that are connected through sensors, these sensors sense signals, and they sense these data that is sensed by the sensors will be sent to the cloud, and from the cloud you can analyze through your mobile phone. Okay, so that's what in the video also everything is now connected. Okay, so in this video more devices than people, because if a single person has got minimum 7 devices, maximum goes to many. Okay, maybe 20 devices connected to one particular person, and just imagine the number increases drastically. So that's why it has been predicted that around 2025 around 85 billion devices will be connected. Okay, so what kind of devices? The devices in the video that are shown, everything, right from your home appliances to your vehicles to your crops, everything, your table, chair, everything will be connected. Okay, so here IoT is surrounded by the sensors. Okay, and it requires the devices are connected. Okay, then people and process, because you are going to analyze the information that you are getting from the cloud. Okay, so you see the number how it is increasing, the world population and connecting devices. Okay, so around 23, 2010, 2015, and 2020. Okay, the number of devices is increased. Okay, so millions of devices can be connected. Okay, so it is predicted that around 2085, around 85 billion devices are going to be connected. So this internet is the backbone for this, because you are going to connect each and every device through the internet. Okay, So once you connect these devices, then millions of nodes will be a form of your network that will create as a part of wireless sensor networks. So you see so many devices I have shown, your factories, your vehicles, okay, medical appliances, wastage, traffic, homes, smart homes, okay, electrical appliances, they're all now connected to the internet. So that's why in the video it is mentioned that we have smartphones, smart watches, smart gadgets, okay, smart jackets. So it is smart with that. So uh, let me show this. Uh, so let me explain some basic terminologies that is generally used. So we have three terms. One is IoT systems. Here also you find hardware and a software. Okay, so this is for a specific task. Embedded systems also we write a piece of program is embedded on a chip and it will follow that. So that piece of program may be some sort of rules. Okay, so for instance, if we talk about washing machine. Okay, so washing machine and other home appliances, they can be considered as embedded system because a software is running on those home appliances. Okay, so to perform a specific task. So then we have a general system performing general tasks. Okay, so more than one task is involved and not specific. Okay. So in all these systems that we see in the surrounding deals with both hardware and software, because we talk about microcontrollers, we talk about sensors, they're all hardware devices. Okay, but you have to program it so that they'll work accordingly. So if we talk about ATM machine, so ATM machine is embedded system, okay, which is connected with the internet. Okay, for instance, you have given with an air cooler with an internet, can you call it as IoT or not? Okay, obviously when an air cooler is connected with the internet, obviously we talk about internet of things. So air cooler is a thing connected with internet, you can consider as an IoT. Okay, so everything that is connected with the internet. Okay, and that not exactly that every time you consider that if it is connected to internet as IoT, but there are cases where there must be 4D technology should be there. Okay, you cannot consider for instance ATM machine embedded system with internet, it is not complete in IoT devices because you are not going to communicate directly with the ATM machines. Okay, similarly you have given with air cooler. So if your air cooler has some sensing devices that senses the temperature and it's the data is sent to the cloud for analytics, and from there you access through your mobile phone, so then it can be considered as a smart air cooler. Okay, but it is communicated through your remote control, then it's similar to what we talk about embedded devices. Okay, so if air cooler is communicating with your mobile phone and the corresponding cloud and you can analyze the data, then only you can say that it's a smart air cooler. Other, if your air cooler is simply functioning based on your remote controller, then you cannot consider it as an IoT device. Okay, so let me show some more definitions. Okay, so that's why we talked about connecting devices. So if it is pre-programmed, then we call it as a static. So most of the embedded devices that are pre-programmed, you program them, then it work accordingly. Okay, and when I say smart devices, so their behavior changes dynamically based on the sensing signals. Okay, which is not feasible in case of pre-programmed static devices. Okay, so most of the home appliances which are programmed and in such a manner that they will be very much specific to a particular task. Okay, they may not be communicating to your mobile phone or internet. Okay, so they may be communicating with your remote controls. Okay, so next term is intelligence, because here I mentioned that we have connected devices and smart devices. Smart devices, they're always dynamic in nature because their inputs keeps on changing. But here, because if you talk about temperature sensors and ultrasonic sensors, there are sensing devices. They keep on fluctuating, and depending on that input, the devices behave. Okay, but in case of these pre-programmed devices, okay, their inputs are very much static because they are rule based. Okay, if the temperature is 35 degree, then you use this type of cotton clothes. If it is this, then use woolen clothes. So that is pre-programmed and rule-based hard code program is done. So that is why it is static. Okay, but when I talk about smart devices, because the inputs is keeps on changing, the behavior of the devices also change. So that's why you have to train those devices depending on the data that it gathers. Okay, so training is not there as far as these pre-programmed static devices are concerned. You can't train them. Okay, so you have to pre-program them. But the smart devices, they are trained to change their behavior depending on the change in the inputs. Okay, so then so next is the term intelligence, because we talk about computational intelligence and all. So one is internet enabled and another is IoT enabled. Okay, so for IoT, internet is a backbone. If you have an internet, then only IoT functions. Okay, as I mentioned that we always talk about 4D technologies. Okay, one is data collection, because the sensing device. Let me show the picture here. Okay, so the 4D technologies, what it shows here. So this is my 4D technology. Okay, so at the top I have got data collection that I have shown here. So I have got the data collection here. So my data collection. Okay, so here also the data collection. So a group of sensors captures the data from the farm. If you talk about agriculture application, okay, so this diagram is specific for agriculture application, but it may not be specific because it may be used for any other domain. Okay, but the main job of data collection is nothing but carried out by the sensing devices. If you talk about farming and all, we have moisture sensors, temperature sensors, humidity sensors and all. Okay, so you collect data. The sensor's main job is to collect data. Okay, then once the first D is collection of data, and the second D, this second D I'll show in the last, data visualization and analysis. Okay, so here I have got data, data storage and data visualization, and the last one is data analysis. So this is one data collection, data storage, data visualization, and data analysis. The 4 Ds are there. Okay, so this wireless sensor network and IoT gear, they are nothing but for connections. Okay, these wireless sensor network, you can connect your devices wirelessly through some IoT gateway. Okay, so a gateway which is a member of this connecting devices or wireless sensor network environment. Okay, so the first D is collecting data. Okay, so if you have collected data, you have to send the data to the cloud. For that, you require the network and the gateway. Okay, so once you have stored the data into the cloud, then the data is stored and data can be visualized, do some machine learning algorithms for the decision making. Then the decision making is done based on data analysis. So the connected data is sent to prediction models, so machine learning models, for growth analysis and notify the farmers or IoT gateway through the apps. If you talk about the agriculture applications where various sensors have been deployed in a farmland, and the nature of the behavior of the climate and soil, everything has to be communicated to the cloud, and from the cloud the farmer will receive the desired notification when to switch on the sprinklers and all, so that the water will be poured on the plants. Okay, so that's why it is called as a 4D technologies. Okay, your IoT is nothing but a 4D technologies, the data collection, collecting data from the sensing devices. So the data is stored either locally or globally. If you're globally, you are storing, you're using a cloud. Locally means on your local machines. Then you have to do a lot of visualization of the data. So you have to pre-process the data. You have to analyze through some machine learning algorithms to some plots and graphs. Okay, so that we can visualize the trend, how the temperature or the moisture of the soil is changing with climate. Okay, so all this is nothing but what you call data analysis. Okay, data visualization and data analysis. Both this require machine learning algorithms. Okay, so that's why you call it as 4D technology. Okay, 4 Ds are there: data collection, data storage, data visualization, data analysis. Okay. So next we have learning. Some aspects of learning we have already discussed in neural network. Okay, because when data visualization and data analysis is coming, there the machine learning algorithms are used. So when machine learning is coming, data is a must. Okay, if you have a data, then only the machine learning algorithms can be implemented. So there the learning comes into picture. If the data is available, then the learning is possible. Okay. So mentor or a trainer or a teacher, because it's a form of supervised learning. Okay. Then we have self-learning also. Okay, maybe a form of unsupervised. So in IoT, there will be a learning called supervised learning. Like developer or the user has to train the device according to him or her requirement. Okay, so you can train the device that has to incorporate some intelligence and smartness. For that, you have to train the device. Okay, because train the device means the device should change its behavior depending on the input signals. You can't hardcode the program, as I have given an example of embedded systems. Okay. So developer or the user has to train the device. So why the training is done? So training is done based on the data that is collected by the sensing device. So once the training is done, then only your device can become smart. Okay. So data training is being done by the trainer. Then similarly in unsupervised learning, because so we don't have any output, we just have an input. So from the input, you just use some sort of clustering mechanisms to specify to which class this particular input data belongs to. Okay, because unsupervised learning, we don't have any trainer or the developer. Okay, so that can be considered as a part of self-learning. So we are talking about smart devices, intelligent computing, and all. Okay, so similarly, some of the devices that we use nowadays in order to control your TV or home appliance like AC and all. Okay, so they are nothing but all manual control. Control the TV channel using TV remote. Okay, so then we have other applications like Alexa, like voice control. Okay, so that is called as a voice assistant, Amazon Alexa. So we have gesture. Okay, you can show your gestures. Most of the security system nowadays, based on your gestures, they can make the decision. Okay. So Internet of Things is nothing but emotion of things, because you are connecting, you are adding life to the things. So smart devices are also connected devices. Okay, so when the devices are connected to the internet, so the communication takes place through some signal transmission. Okay, so the signals may be transmitted through analog or a digital. Okay, that you all know. Okay, because you're from electronics. So for instance, we have an example of a driver alert system incorporated, because most of the cars that nowadays they are coming, they're fully automated cars. So in US we have a driverless cars by Google and all. Okay, but in India we don't have a driverless cars right now, but we have fully automated cars that have been launched in the market. Okay, so if a driver is drunk, the ignition will be off. Okay, so there will be a sensors. We call it as driver alert system. Alert system. Even if the driver is increasing speed beyond some threshold, it will alert the driver. Okay, so all intelligent mechanisms have been incorporated in most of the vehicles now. So you have to switch off the ignition when the driver is drunken. So how this is possible? Because there is an alcohol sensor. So alcohol sensor detects the percentage of the alcohol. So every sensor has got its own threshold. Okay. So the alcohol sensor will detect the percentage of the alcohol. Okay. And then a digital sensor, what will do? It will have a threshold value. Okay. So it depends on what type of sensor you are using, whether it takes analog signal or digital signals. Okay. So there will be a comparator will compare the input signal with the threshold that you have set. Okay. So then an analog sensor, how much percentage of alcohol he has consumed. Okay. So one is digital sensor and another is analog sensor, or depending on the type of the sensors that we're using and what type of communication takes place through digital or analog communication is possible. Okay, but here we have a digital sensors which has got its own threshold, and there is a comparator will compare the threshold value with the actual alcohol intake by that person, and the analog sensor will say how much percentage of alcohol he has consumed. Okay. One such example that I have shown. Okay, so we use some technical terms here. Logic 0 volt. Okay, if logic is 1, that means some positive signal is there, that is true. Okay, most of the microcontrollers like Raspberry Pi Arduino board. In Raspberry Pi, we have both 3.3 volts as well as 5 volts. Okay. So depending on the devices that you want to handle with this Raspberry Pi, you can use that pin. Okay. So that conversion will take place depending on the application we have. Okay. Analog signals are converted to the digital signals. Okay. Through analog to digital converter. Okay. So let us come to the architecture. So there are 5 layers. Okay, 5 layers in the architecture. Layer 1, obviously sensing devices or the sensors. So maybe an analog sensor or a digital signal. Okay. So the sensors maybe analog and digital sensors depending on the type of application. So widely used internet device in every home. What is that? Wi-Fi. We require a Wi-Fi router for establishing communication through those sensing devices with the internet. Okay. So in order to connect with the internet, we require a ISP, internet service provider. Okay. Or through LAN cable. Okay. So you can connect your device through Wi-Fi or through local LAN. Okay. So LAN cable, Wi-Fi router, private area network, then mobile. Okay, so there's a scenario that will goes. Okay, so LAN cable. Okay, so the LAN cable with which your device is connected, that is connected to the Wi-Fi router. Okay, then it is connected to your personal area network. Okay, then it goes to the mobile phone. Okay, so we'll discuss all this in detail. So direct internet and indirect internet. Okay, so direct internet means you are getting directly from the Wi-Fi router. Okay, through some ISP, internet service provider. Okay, so we call it as direct internet, that is Wi-Fi. So indirect internet means through mobile phones and laptops. Okay. So for instance, you can make your mobile phone as a hotspot and then you connect with your laptop. Okay. So let me explain some few more concepts as far as gateway is concerned, because as I said that if you want to connect each and every device in your surrounding environment to the internet, then it's not possible, because you cannot give internet to each and every device that is there in the surrounding environment. So you must have a proper, you must create a gateway for that. Okay. So what is how that we want to collect data from all this 1000 buffaloes. Okay, and some sensors have been attached with this. So what we will do, we'll divide them into some groups. So we'll use divide and rule. So 1000 buffaloes. Okay. So divide into 5 different segregations or 5 different compartments or departments, and then divide it with 5, you'll get 200. So one cluster or department will get 200 buffaloes. Okay. And so one department can have 5 different sections and every sections can have 200 buffaloes. Okay. And further, one section further can be divided having 40 buffaloes. So like this, you can segregate them. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll connect internet only to the buffalo out of 40 through a Wi-Fi router. Okay, so 40 buffaloes will be connected to one Wi-Fi router, another 40 will be connected to another Wi-Fi router. Then these Wi-Fi routers are connected to the common gateway. Okay, so there are 20 devices per buffaloes will be connected with the internet directly. Okay, because you have made the group, so through the groups you have to connect to the common router, and from router you can directly connect to the other routers. Okay, so 975 devices are internet enabled. Okay, you see here we have come up with 1000 and we have connected each and every buffalo with the internet by creating the gateway. So you have divided the buffaloes into different different groups. Okay, and every group, for instance, you choose 40 buffaloes. Okay, so you connect those 40 buffaloes with the one Wi-Fi router, another 40 with another Wi-Fi router. Okay, then it will form a common gateway. Okay. So like this, because we know that it's not feasible to connect each and every device directly with the internet, so you have to create a gateway. So one section, 40 buffaloes. So there is a one Wi-Fi router. You connect with all buffaloes, 40 buffaloes with their sensing devices, 40. Now one router. Okay, so the router may be Wi-Fi or a Bluetooth or a low range or a Zigbee. So these are nothing but form of networks based on which your devices are connected. Whether the device is connected to the Bluetooth network or a Wi-Fi or a low range or a Zigbee. Okay. So now you see here 10 buffaloes. For instance, you connect with Wi-Fi. Another 10 buffaloes you connect with Bluetooth. Another 10 buffaloes with LoRa. Another 10 buffaloes you XB. Now see, I have got different networks. One is Wi-Fi, another is Bluetooth, another is LoRa and Zigbee. Because you cannot connect all the buffaloes to one particular ISP because the load will increase and it won't work. Okay, so I have got 10 buffaloes connected to one Wi-Fi router for this particular network, another 10 connected to the Bluetooth. Okay, now all this will be connected to a common gateway. So IoT gateway is a heterogeneous combination of different homogeneous wireless networks. So this is very important. Okay, so when you're forming a gateway, why we are forming a gateway? Because it's not feasible to connect each and every device with the internet. Okay, so what is required? You form groups. Okay, so you form groups, you form networks. Okay, so the network becomes heterogeneous combination of different homogeneous wireless networks. Okay, so all are wirelessly communicating with the devices in their premises. Okay, but one is with this, other is Bluetooth, another is LoRa, and another is Zigbee. But depending on the range, they have been segregated. Okay, because range of Bluetooth is very less as compared to Wi-Fi, and similarly for low range and Zigbee, they have got their own ranges. Okay, but your main job is to connect 40 buffaloes. You cannot connect all 40 buffaloes to one particular network. Okay, so you segregate them. So IoT gateway is a heterogeneous combination of different homogeneous. All are different networks, but they are wireless. Different homogeneous wireless networks. So different networks are connected with a common gateway. Okay. So the layer one, we have sensors. Layer two, we have got the uh, uh, wireless sensor network, which connect each and every node with a particular network. Okay, and then we require an IoT gateway. Okay, as I've shown an example of, we have formed an IoT gateway with all heterogeneous combination of different homogeneous wireless networks. Okay, so one Wi-Fi router is connected to the 40 devices. Okay, because why 40 devices? There are 40 buffaloes are there, and all 40 devices to be connected to the one Wi-Fi router. But this one Wi-Fi router is connected to different wireless networks. Okay, so 10 devices or buffaloes connected to this, another 10 with Bluetooth. Okay, so that's why it's called as heterogeneous combination of different wireless networks. All are different. Okay, so we have sensors. We have got the wireless sensor network for connections. Then for communicating, we require a gateway. So once you establish a gateway, now the gateway is directly connected to the cloud. So once the data is sent to the cloud, from there you access that particular data and do analysis through your mobile apps or a web apps or a cloud apps, whatever it is. Okay, so there are 5 layers. The lowest layer is your sensors, and the highest layer is your mobile app from where you are analyzing. Okay, so then in between I have got the bridge. So wireless sensor network, IoT gateway, they act as a bridge, but your cloud is nothing but for data storage and data visualization and analysis. Okay, so if the user wants to give an instruction to the device, so what we will do, the user is nothing but an assistant. He is using a mobile phone. He will send an instruction to the cloud. Okay, from the cloud, it will go to the IoT gateway. From IoT gateway, it will goes to the network to which it is connected, wireless sensor network. That will go and connect to the corresponding node. That is nothing but my microcontroller, maybe a Raspberry Pi or maybe Arduino board. So in Raspberry Pi, we have got the facility of Wi-Fi enabled, but in Arduino, we don't have Wi-Fi. We have to use ESP8266 Wi-Fi module. Okay, so we generally prefer Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi cost is large as compared to Arduino boards. Okay, maybe nowadays Raspberry Pi version 4 has come. It takes around 3,000 rupees. Okay, so let us take one more example. Okay, so a water bottle is connected with Bluetooth. So water bottle is nothing but a thing that we use. Now I want to connect it with the Bluetooth. So why I'm taking Bluetooth? Because Bluetooth is a low range. Okay. So in all laptops and mobile phones, we have this Bluetooth connectivity. Okay. So now what is a gateway here? Gateway is nothing but a connection. So IoT gateway is nothing but the device is connected to the Bluetooth. So that acts as a gateway. Okay. So the gateway is nothing but a bridge. Okay. From one device connected to the cloud through some gateway. Always remember that your sensing devices, microcontrollers, they are connected to the cloud through some gateway. They cannot be connected directly. Okay. They require some medium. So for instance, if you want to connect your water bottle with your Bluetooth in mobile phone or a laptop. So for that you require, so here water bottle. So this Bluetooth is nothing but forming a gateway. So router is available in all private area network and it is a member in all PAN. Okay, so whatever the routers will be there, that routers will be a part of your gateway. Okay, so now here see what I have one class, maybe Bluetooth, maybe Zigbee or LoRa, low range or Wi-Fi. So we have different facilities we have as far as creation of IoT gateway is concerned. We have different forms. We have how you are going to connect with the cloud, whether you want to connect with the cloud through Bluetooth, whether you want to connect through cloud to Wi-Fi. So different infrastructures we have. Okay. So a Bluetooth device wants to talk with LoRa device. Okay. So Bluetooth device wants to talk with any low range device, or a door is a Bluetooth device, or a curtain is a LoRa device, because different home appliances or different devices in your drawing room can be availing different facilities on which they are working. Okay. So your Bluetooth device wants to talk with LoRa device, of your door is a Bluetooth device and a curtain is a LoRa device. Okay, because depending on the type of the infrastructure they have. Okay. So your door is connected to the IoT gateway, maybe a LoRa or as a Bluetooth. Okay, so door is connected to a curtain through IoT gateway. Okay, because one device is connected to the another device through some bridge. That bridge is nothing but a gateway. So because these devices are communicating now, your door is communicating with curtain. Okay, your water bottle is communicating with your mobile phone. Okay. Now, sometimes it is homogeneous and sometimes it is heterogeneous. You may have the devices belong to the same form of network, or your devices are connected to the different forms of the network. So either it's a homogeneous, all are Wi-Fi connected, or a Bluetooth or mix. So in the Buffalo example, the 10 buffaloes are connected to the Wi-Fi, 10 connected to the Bluetooth. So they are heterogeneous Wi-Fi networks. Okay, so there may be a homogeneous that are all connected to one particular private area network having Wi-Fi. Okay, or all are connected with Bluetooth, or there is a mix. When it becomes mixed, it becomes heterogeneous. So that's why an IoT developers IoT developers will always put IoT gateway in between the devices, whether they are homogeneous or heterogeneous. So gateway is a must. Okay. For instance, if you have a table lamp, I have connected the table lamp with my Raspberry Pi. Okay. Now how I am going to connect that with the cloud? Okay. So you have to program. You have to write two programs, one for IoT gateway and the other for your Raspberry Pi using Python. Okay. So we'll discuss some examples. Okay. So IoT gateway is very important as far as sending data from your sensing devices to the cloud is concerned. Okay. So I got plenty of such examples. One is smart aquarium. Okay. So all this we'll discuss in the next class. So if you have any doubt regarding, just note that so that we can discuss further. Okay. So hope you have got some basic picture of what IoT and why it is required and what are the various technicalities that are involved, how many layers are there, what is 4G technology. Okay. So I'll show you the marks for quiz 2. Probably I don't know whether you can access that or not, because I have uploaded the marks, and I'll just show you because you may not aware of that. I have evaluated. You just go through that. If anybody